Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the Signature TV 30 Minutes. My name is Mwabu Zenjoku. In the headlines, Ondo State Governor orders herdsmen to vacate forest reserves in the state. Deputy Registrar, Federal University of Technology Akure, attacked by bandits, has died. U.S. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to resign from the Senate. And now, the details. The Nigerian Governors Forum on Monday said it will meet on Wednesday to chart a way out of the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic as schools reopen across the country. In a statement signed by its spokesperson, Abdul Razak Bello, the Governors Forum said it was alarmed by the intensity of the second wave of the global pandemic and the country's steady commencement of inoculations. Nigeria's number of new cases has skyrocketed in recent weeks, seeing the nation cross the 100,000 mark for total infections. Now, on Sunday, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control reported 1,444 new cases and 15 deaths. The NGF meeting will be the first for the governors in 2021 and will be conducted virtually. Other matters to be discussed at the meeting include revenue sharing and the water resources bill. Schools within the Federal Capital Territory resumed academic activities on Monday for the 2020-2021 school calendar as directed by the federal government. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 said schools should ensure they keep to all the COVID-19 protocols and provide the needed logistics to avoid the spread of the virus. Signature TV correspondent Obamano Marvelous went to some schools in Abuja to monitor the situation.
The director of Florence Ade Akodu International School, Maitama Matthew Ganasalo, said the school management has followed guidelines issued by the Presidential Task Force by providing running water, soap, and hand sanitizers for students to use.
We are doing our best to comply to not only our safety measures, which are incredibly high, but also the government's directives on making the school conducive and making the school safe. So we have put everything in place. We have our sanitizers, we have our face masks, as you can see, that we're using, and all our teachers have their face masks and our students have their face masks on. Well, we've spoken to our parents really on social media, sent quite a lot of messages to them. We said that their children must come in with a face mask, children must wash their hands, children must sanitize, they must come into the office to sanitize their hands and everything like that. In the classrooms, the children are socially distanced and the teacher is always wearing a mask. We monitor, or we're going to monitor so much their playtime, and when they're outside in the field when they're playing, we're going to monitor that.
The secretary of the school, Mrs. Binin Onlasis, also said the school management has instructed teachers to always monitor students in the class and make sure they observe physical and social distancing. She added that the school management has banned every social activity in the school to avoid students having physical contact.
We are trying our best to make sure we get other things that we still need, because we want a situation whereby each classrooms will have a tap and a bowl to wash their hands and the sanitizer, and also to make sure that each of the students have their face masks on. We got some beds, and when you go upstairs where the college is, we have an isolation room there where we have the beds. So all we need to do is just to put the mattress on it. So it is not just a promise, but it's something that is going to take effect.
Students who spoke to Signature TV said that the school authority has provided water and soap for them to use once they are entering and leaving the school premises, adding that they will wear their face masks always as they enter the classrooms.
When I entered the gate, I washed my hand and I sanitized it. I'll still wear my face mask.
The proprietor of Maitama Primary and Secondary School, Catherine Renkwa, also told Signature TV that the school has provided face masks free of charge for students who may come to school without them. A class teacher who spoke to Signature TV said that there is a strict compliance to physical distancing in the classrooms.
Over the weekend, since we know that we are resuming today being 18th, Monday, we got a thermometer for taking their temperature ready, and also the hand sanitizer ready by the gate, that as children and parents are coming in to the compound, they sanitize their hand. And on their teachers' tables too, we gave one sanitizer each. If it finishes, they come back and collect. So I asked them twice in a day, at least in the class, they should go around, drop it for the children to clean their hands.
As we resume today, we started from the gate. Pupils were coming through the gate by their temperature being checked. Then after walking into the school compound, they wash their hands from the running water, and sitting in their classes, we make sure we space them.
When I came to school in the morning, we wash our hands, maintain our social distancing.
As I just came from the gate, I washed my hands with soap and water, and I went to my class.
As the Nigerian Center for Disease Control announces increase in COVID-19 cases, the observation by schools visited so far shows that there are efforts by the schools to keep to COVID-19 protocols. Obomanu Marvelous Chinedu for Signature TV, Abuja.
The federal government gave a nod to schools to resume on January 18 after reaching consensus with governors, commissioners, and other stakeholders, despite experts' warning. This has triggered reactions among residents of Abuja, the nation's capital, as schools reopened today amidst the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Signature TV correspondents were on the streets of Abuja to monitor the reactions of Nigerians.
Life is risk. Even the advanced economies are opening economies. Even the countries that are worst hit by coronavirus are finding a way to open up, but they are putting safety measures in place. Nigeria should follow suit. Open up, but put safety measures in place.
It's safe. At least there should be measures in regards to this COVID-19 preparation. There should measures. They have to follow the instructions by the government so that they provide the face masks, where to wash their hand, and they should not be choked in the classroom.
Students should not go back to school because of the outbreak. They have to remain at home so that we can watch what is happening a little. If by the time we watch what is happening a little, at the end of the day, if it does not go along with the first wave, there is a tendency for students to go.
Mostly in school, we normally have crowd, all those assembly and all those stuff. So I don't think it's safe for them because they will easily catch coronavirus.
I think it will be advisable for the government to put strategies on ground for students to go back to school. It is good for the school to resume. The reason is that the economy is held down. Since last year, the economy has been held down. And if you look at the chain of circulation of business, it's not circulating, there is a break.
The Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akaradulu, on Monday ordered herdsmen to vacate all forest reserves in the state within the next 7 days. Now, the governor, who made the pronouncement via his Twitter, said the order had become imperative due to the increasing incidence of kidnapping cases in the state. The governor also banned night grazing with immediate effect. Now, in November 2020, bandits shot a prominent traditional ruler, the Olofon of Ifon, Oba Israel Adeusi. Later that month, unidentified gunmen abducted the wife of the chief of staff to Governor Akaradulu. Earlier in January, gunmen abducted a couple and 2 others in Usa community in our local government area of the state. A deputy registrar in the Federal University of Technology Akure, Ondo State, Dr. Amos Aijesio, who was allegedly shot by some hoodlums on the Ilesha-Akure Expressway in Osun State on Saturday, has passed away. Aijesio, who worked at the Guidance and Counseling section of the Students' Affairs Department of the university, was attacked by hoodlums alongside his driver and 1 other unidentified person. The management of the university, in a statement issued on Monday, declared that Aijesio died as a result of the injuries sustained during the attack by the hoodlums. The statement was issued by the Deputy Registrar Corporate Communications of the university. Adegbenro Adebanjo. Troops of Operation Hardin-Daji have killed 35 bandits and recovered many rustled cows in Zamfara State. This was revealed in a statement signed by the Coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Defense Headquarters, Major General John Enenche, and made available to newsmen in Gusau, the Zamfara State capital, on Monday. General Enenche said in the course of the encounter, 30 armed bandits were neutralized, while 24 cows and an unspecified number of sheep were recovered. Similarly, on the same day, troops deployed at Maradan local government area of Zamfara State overwhelmed bandits and neutralized 5 of them at an ambush close to Jambala village, where a firefight ensued. He maintained that 2 bandits' collaborators were also arrested by the army during the operation. Enenche disclosed that the armed forces, Nigeria, and other security agencies would sustain the offensive against the enemies of the nation. A former military governor of Lagos State, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, has resumed office as the new chairman of the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Marwa was recently appointed chairman of the agency by President Muhammadu Buhari. Addressing senior officers of NDLEA in Abuja on Monday, Marwa revealed his plans to overhaul and expand the agency to effectively deal with the menace of drug abuse in the country. The ex-governor, who headed the Presidential Advisory Committee for the Elimination of Drug Abuse, said the revamping will be done in line with recommendations of the committee, while noting that the number of people involved in drug abuse in the country has surpassed 15 million Nigerians. He warned that the agency will deal with all those involved in drugs and substance abuse in the country. As the enrollment and matching of national identity number with SIM cards goes on nationwide, the Federal Capital Territory Zone has promised to put measures in place to reduce pressure and render effective service to Nigerians. The zonal coordinator, Indisa Imolawan, spoke with Signature TV correspondent Obi Chibueze, who now reports.
The National Identity Management Commission said it will ease the registration process by purchasing more equipment and engaging ad hoc staff to help fasten the registration process and reduce crowd.
My management, they were here this morning and they discovered that the crowd is so much, so they are preparing to or making every arrangement to bring more systems here and then deploy more staff to this place. And I think with more staff and more system, a lot of issues will be addressed, especially the issue of crowd. We are even trying to give the private providers space in our own offices, that's our own center, so that we work together. You can come and put your mobile enrollment system in our office here and do your enrollment, because we are doing the same work with the same common interest, the same goal we want to achieve. So we give them freedom to come, and if they see there's crowd here and they can come and help us, they will just put their enrollment because they have mobile kits.
Meanwhile, the Commission is assuring that COVID-19 protocols are being observed as applicants' sitting arrangement maintain social distancing, with all putting on their face masks. However, some of the applicants expressed their frustration about the slow registration process and the unfriendly treatment they get from the officials.
The mode of operation here is something that is difficult to everybody. How can you gather here and they are saying they are not working? But this one now is supposed to be something that it should be in everywhere, based on the fact that this thing is very important. And because of the level of, how would I put it, because of the level of importance they've placed this thing, it's supposed to be everywhere.
In fact, I'm grieved. They are frustrating us. This is frustrating. Throughout last week, we were here. They told us that we should come here early Monday morning, that they will attend to us. Now we are here. They've pasted another thing there. Some of us, we took permission from work. It's not ideal to be asking your boss for permission all the time.
Some of the applicants have also complained about the short period for the completing of the process. Therefore, called on government for extension of the deadline to enable them complete the process.
Nobel laureate Professor Ulesheka has condemned those who are threatening fire and brimstone on Matthew Hassan Kuka, Bishop of Sokoto Catholic Diocese, over his Christmas message that was a critique of the Buhari administration. The Islamic community asked him to leave the seat of the caliphate if he failed to apologize for what they considered an affront on Islam. Professor Shoyinka, who claimed to have studied the transcript as reported in the media and found nothing in it that denigrates Islam, said the threat by a section of our Islamic community to storm Kuka's capital and eject him simply for speaking in tongues is bothersome. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, has denied giving $5 million bribe to the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and others to facilitate the appointment of a sole administrator for the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The embattled NDDC sole administrator, Effion Akwa, who hails from the same state, Akwa Ibom, with Akpabio, was appointed into a previous interim management as a replacement for the late Director of Finance, Ibanga Etang, who died of COVID-19. There have been several protests, especially from the Ijaw ethnic group, against the NDDC after President Muhammadu Buhari in December of 2020 sacked the former interim management and left behind Akwa, whom he elevated to the position of a sole administrator. Some people, including members of the former interim management, believe Akpabio manipulated the system to edge out others from the NDDC leadership in order to have absolute control of the commission through Akwa. They believe that Akwa's appointment negates the principle of rotation of the NDDC leadership among the 9 states that make up the Niger Delta region. The presidency on Monday announced that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Abubakar Fikpo as the acting Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, pending the appointment of a substantive DG. The presidential approval was contrary to the position of the Senate, which on December the 10th, 2020, urged the president to rescind the presidential directive sacking Dr. Nasiru Argungu as the NDDC. In sacking Argungu last year in the wake of the controversy that trailed the federal government's planned 774,000 jobs, Buhari had directed the Minister of State Employment, Festus Keyamo, who supervises the agency, to nominate an acting DG for the agency. The Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement on Monday said Buhari had approved the nomination made by the minister. And now for the stock market report. Transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Monday began on a rather negative note as investors lost 39.535 billion naira. The equity capitalization also fell to 21.49 billion naira from 21.53 billion naira traded on Friday. This was 39.535 billion naira loss. As a result, the all share index fell also to 41,082.38 points from 41,176.14 points, a 0.23% fall. The value also plunged 4.172 billion naira from 6.396 billion, 3.47% fall. However, the volume rose from 666.6 to 738.524. This was a 10.78% rise. On the activity side, there was 30 gainers and 22 losers. Cadbury was the top gainer at the close of business, while Japan Gold PLC led the 22 losers. On the performance side, Japan Gold equity was the most traded, trading 92.361 million shares, valued at 145.7 million naira. Oil prices edged lower on Monday as climbing coronavirus cases and tighter restrictions in Europe and China fueled worries over a slower recovery in fuel demand. Encouraging gross domestic product (GDP) and industrial production data from China helped to limit the downside to some extent. Brent crude oil March delivery eased 0.2% to $54.98 a barrel after falling 2.3% on Friday. Similarly, U.S. oil futures were down by 0.1% at $52.38 after falling more than 2% in the previous session. The total number of global coronavirus cases tipped 95 million, while the death toll surpassed 2 million. China reported more than 100 new COVID-19 cases for the sixth consecutive day, while the number of hospitalized COVID-19 patients with serious symptoms in Japan topped 970, marking a record high since the onset of the pandemic in the country. Portugal imposed a new nationwide lockdown, while the British government announced that it will close all travel corridors from Monday in order to restrict the spread of the new coronavirus variant cases. New coronavirus infections have been decreasing in Germany, but the country's health minister said that more needed to be done to bring it permanently under control. Chancellor Angela Merkel, and Germany's 16-state premiers will discuss what to do next on Tuesday. The Dangote Group has completed Nigeria's longest rigid pavement located in Kogi State. It is the first of the kind, top engineers have said. The 43 kilometers of Bajana-Kabe Road, constructed by Dangote Industries Limited, has been described by motorists as the country's most strategic highway that is aiding travelers between the north and the south. The project director, Olatubosun Kelajaye, said he was excited that the corporate social responsibility project is being delivered for use by Nigerians, adding that while the rigid pavement has been completed, the company was dressing the shoulders. Site engineer Samuel Obosi assured that the dual carriageway will be durable and less susceptible to potholes and repairs like asphalt road, adding that it will crush the rate of road accidents in the country. Motorists said it is now one of the busiest road links, linking the two regions of the north and the south. And now for some foreign reports, Ugandan opposition presidential candidate Bob Wine said armed military and police officers have taken over National Unity Platform, his party's office in Kampala. Bobby Wine stated this on Monday morning via his verified Twitter account. The 38-year-old activist, however, accused President Yoweri Museveni of intimidating him. The alleged takeover of his party offices in Kampala came after Bobby Wine stated that he has video footage of ballot box stuffing, soldiers forcing people to vote in a particular way, or pre-taken ballots. Wine, who has been under house arrest, also said he had been unable to meet his party officials to decide on a way forward. He on Sunday, however, called on the international community to demand he be released from house arrest after a disputed election returned President Yoweri Museveni to office for a 6th term. United States Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will resign from the Senate on Monday, according to a Harris aide. The Californian Democrat's resignation comes 2 days before she becomes the country's first female vice president and the first person of color to hold that office. Harris had notified Democratic Governor Newsom that she will resign Monday, and Newsom announced on December that he would appoint Secretary of State Alex Padilla to her Senate seat, and Padilla intends to run for a full Senate term in 2022. Padilla said on Friday press call that it is very likely he will be sworn into the Senate on Wednesday, Inauguration Day. But Harris' exit also means that no black woman will be serving in the chamber. In her new role as Vice President, Harris will serve as President of the Senate and cast tie-breaking votes. Before we end the news, the headlines again. Under Governor orders herdsmen to vacate forest reserves in the state. Deputy Registrar of Federal University of Technology, Akure, attacked by bandits, has died. U.S. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to resign from the Senate. Now, the second wave of COVID-19 is projected to go up at this time of the year. Please do well to stay safe, maintain physical and social distance, and kindly wear your face masks while going about your daily activities. And that is Signature TV 30 Minutes. On behalf of my producer, Damilola Abudu, I'm Mwagwozenjoku. Thanks for watching. Good evening.